audio working. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. This is Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm always here.
I'm Tabitha. I'm the one that screwed up the microphone. Anyway. This month, we're painting for Pride because Pride is doing virtual Pride starting in like 5 days, I think. It starts on the 3rd. So that's exciting. Yeah, that was me. That was definitely me. Okay.
We'll figure out the streaming thing at some point.
No, we won't. I mean, if we didn't set up in another new location. Yes, thank you. Every time that somebody says Happy Pride for the first time in chat, so for every person who says it, I will donate $2 to Pride. I will have to keep track of that. I should probably get out some notes for myself. Although I suppose I can always look back through the chat. Oh boy. But also for Pride, what are we doing, Josh?
I am going to be painting a slime in a rainbow color using washes. And maybe I'll paint an owlbear later if I finish this too fast.
You might. I'm going to be painting some rainbow flumphs that are pretty cute. Come on, baby, you can focus for me. I believe in you. Thank you, Josh. And then, of course, I have an owlbear that I'm going to paint in a different blend of colors, blue, pink, and white. And that's your slime.
This is my brick.
Oh, we got a couple more. I'm just gonna mark those down. And then probably at the end, I'm just gonna see how many viewers there were. And if it's more than what I've got tallied, I'm just gonna bump it up to that anyway. Knowing me. You carry this for a second because in the rush to get set up, I left my palette over there. So I will be right back.
We're also going to have a special guest popping in, I believe midway through the stream. It's going to be representative from Pride.
Yes.
We're going to be joining them on a Discord call, and we're going to have them sitting in for a little while, chatting along with everyone else. Looking forward to that happening. Can't wait for any technical difficulties or lack thereof. Hopefully that will happen via that.
Hopefully there are none. I think I got it set up properly, but we will find out. This stream, we will also be giving away, we actually have a lot more giveaways than usual. We've got a $10 gift card that we'll do at the end. Josh is going to grab the other ones.
So we have a foldable dice tower, which folds down, and it's pretty much a self-contained dice tray.
I like that. We should be carrying those at the store soon. We've got a local fella who's making them.
Yeah. They're what, MDF cut and laser cut?
You can buy, this is birch. He makes them in birch, and he also makes them out of MDF, and I assume they're priced different, but we haven't actually priced them out yet and put them on the shelf, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah. We also have an owlbear that we're going to be giving away from WizKids. As well. 2 dice trays.
Yes, these are from Calder's Crafts again, as has been tradition thus far. Every time that he sells us some, he gives us a couple, which is just way too nice of him. But we're happy to pass it along. So, oh, we got another Happy Pride in there. Heck yeah. Oh boy. I should mention, my husband pointed this out to me, my maximum donation amount is $500. So if we end up getting raided by another stream, I don't have to take out a giant loan. I work at a game store. I can't afford more than that.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Let's see. Okay, well then I guess we should get started. What I'm going to do, since we're doing wet blending and color blending with a Pride theme, is my little flumphs are going to be rainbow, and I'm going to do them with regular old acrylic paints, like your Army Painter and your MSP and all that. And this owlbear, once I get some white on him, I'm going to prime him in white, I'll be using the contrast, that's it, the Citadel contrast paints, and then color shift on top of that to make him a sparkly, glittery baby.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, hello.
Is this going to be another Tabitha priming stream?
No, shut your mouth. It's not. This is much smaller than the day. You cheeky. Very cheeky.
Hey, I didn't see anyone else saying it, so I had to.
I guess somebody's got to razz me. No! Have confidence in me, Jocelyn, I promise. You know what? If I spend more than 10 minutes priming this Owlbear, I'll donate another $10 to Pride.
Yeah, and I'm going to be working on doing a rainbow pattern for my slime. I'm just going to be going from the top down and see where it kind of goes. I can't wait to try and mess this up because I haven't done a lot of wet blending recently.
Yes, I'm excited to be here on your wet blending journey.
Oh, timer started for you.
That's okay. Maybe I'll be really slow so that I donate an extra bunch of money. So, you know what the thing is? If we end up getting up to the $500, that's actually the bronze level of sponsorship for Pride. So maybe I'll just have to get somebody to make me like an emblem for me to be like scrolling on the Pride website, and I'll be like the weird individual that bought her own sponsorship. I don't think so, but that would be kind of funny. I'm actually not even sure if individuals can do that, now that I think about it.
The morning of, I also gave this guy a quick wash in some soapy water just to be safe.
That's smart because of the way that Reaper does their release agent, right?
Yeah. Also, I haven't painted that many Reaper minis, so I just wanted to be safe.
Ooh, that's another happy Pride. Heck yeah. Mark that one down.
Best part about painting with washes only. If you mess up, just use your thumb and it goes away.
I do that for most paint. Is that not what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, this one goes away easier. It's going to be really hard to see this mini on the close-up.
Because it's transparent, you mean? Yeah. Did you do anything else to it besides wash it before you started putting more wash on it?
Nope, just gave it a wash. Or washed it before I washed it.
I know what you're saying, but it's kind of funny.
Reaper minis really don't like regular primers, as far as I could tell.
So what I do for my transparent stuff like that is, and if you want to, if you feel like you need to stop and it's not clinging to like the corners at all, I put a matte top coat on it so that it's got some cling, so it's got some texture. And then I put my washes on top of that, or contrast paints if they're thin enough.
Okay. I was debating trying out some contrast paints for this, but my brain is so small I couldn't rack over basic color theory. Couldn't combine colors.
You got that nice smooth brain going on?
Yeah, small brain. My brain is smooth like peanut butter.
I like crunchy. I don't. I can't even lie about that. Crunchy peanut butter is the worst.
Oh. Another happy Pride.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay, that's good. We're getting there.
What's everyone else painting today?
Yeah, tell me about your paint stuff. Or your good Pride times. That's also nice to hear about. I actually went to my first ever Pride parade, the Pride before the pandemic.
Sounds like a movie.
I enjoyed the time still painting the boat. The big boat. Big boat. No, Tabitha, you don't need to paint more big things. Stop. You don't want to, you wouldn't want to buy a father dragon to attack your boat, would you?
You need to get the whole Cthulhu mythos painted up.
Yeah.
Sell them as a
what
set.
else do we have? I know we've got some idols that are supposed to be underwater.
Well, there's a Cthulhu.
That's true. There is the Cthulhu.
Or Cthulhu.
But do I want to have the one that's like partway out of the water from WizKids, or do I want to have the one from Reaper that is like very pot-bellied? Not that that's a problem, but
Oh,
yeah.
The White Dragon? Oh, I love that mini.
The one with its like tail that comes down and like connects to the base there, or sorry, which White Dragon is this?
Don't know. It could be any. I love them all because White Dragon is my second favorite dragon.
So I'm asking because WizKids recently put out a big chunky pre-painted White Dragon, but if it's the unpainted one, then yes, I also painted that one. It is fun. Let's see what we got here. Frostgrave minis. More necromunda. Excellent.
It's going on pretty well.
I wonder if we still had questions yesterday about all the.
Oh, that does not show up at all. Oh no.
It kind of shows up, but
it shows up a lot less than what it actually is.
Once you gloss it up, you'll find that it shows up a lot more. Am I running out of time? The unpainted one, okay. I'm trying. I've almost got them. I just need, like, normally on a WizKids Mini, I wouldn't bother priming it because they're pre-primed, but if you're going to use contrast paints, you got to get some primer on there. I've tried doing it on the pre-primed, like, coat that they put on this. Mm-hmm. It does not work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, that was, I had to wash it all off and scrub it out, and so that was annoying.
All right. So Tabitha, do you have any hot wet blending tips?
Yeah,
for all the wet blending that you do?
Yeah, make sure it's still wet. Josh and I were discussing this. I've been talking to buying a new game.
Oh no.
Does it take that much talking though to really convince people who are already interested?
I can be very persuasive.
That's true. You're a bad influence. But keeping it wet actually is like a big part of it. Sometimes it's just about like you see your colors starting to dry out before you've blended them, and you just got to get back in there with a little bit more of it to keep it wet.
Yeah.
I also do some. I'm trying to remember because I haven't done this in a bit. I've been working on Tiamat for so long. Anyway, I like to put down some base colors ahead of time. Like I'll put on my starting and finishing color at either end first, usually, and then work between them. Oh, I almost missed a spot. Oh boy. Is that it? Did I get it all?
Trying to blend some of these colors a bit before they dry as well on here.
I told you, keep it wet.
I mean, what washes do. I'm also going slightly above into the red to try and get the gradient. And what's the timer on that? How much time does she have left?
Said it would take me longer to prime, not paint. But yes, he's got his white primer on him now, so he's going to dry while I get started on the flumphs. Flumphs. Hello, Christy. Oh, hi. Christy's actually is going to be joining us later. I'm excited. 3.5. Oh, I read gaff, and I was I thought that it was like the slang for laugh, like Cockney rhyming slang, which is having a giraffe, which is having a laugh. I love that. I think it's very fun. Okay. All right. Flumphs. So what do we want to start with? The flumph that I drew for us for the adverts has purple on top. So maybe I'll do these in purple too.
Oh, quite cool.
Purple? Oh, wait, that's my
color. Titanicus Warlord. Oh, I love those. At some point I got to decide if I want to get into that, but I'm still putting out hope for Battlefleet Gothic. That is going to be my dream if GW ever makes that.
You've got lofty hopes, Josh.
It's giant ships fighting in space, but GW, so they're all cathedrals.
Alright, I'll admit, that's pretty dope. Okay, I have returned with my entire rainbow of colors. One of my recommendations for wet blending is to make sure that you've got all your paints ready ahead of time and quite watered down. Oh no, I should not do that. I have so many, like I've said every stream for the last 2 months, I have so many dinosaurs that I haven't painted. Okay, alright. We're going to start with purple. I'm going to put them in my little palette, which is super messy, in order. Oh, there you go. Right, so 2 years ago, the Pride before we actually shut everything down for COVID was my first Pride. And I'll admit, I'm not a fan of parades, but I loved being at the forts and like being around everyone and seeing all the different groups represented. I really enjoyed all of that. I don't know. Parades give me flashbacks to being in like a snowman costume with my twin sister in another snowman costume, walking down the frigid streets of Stonewall at the front of the parade procession. It was so cold and I didn't like it. I'm just a baby. I'm just spoiled. Yeah, it turns out preparing ahead of time is actually kind of crucial to getting shit done properly.
I almost didn't. I was playing Terraria this morning.
I mean, if you were gonna pick something, it's a good choice.
Such a fun game.
I can't imagine, like, trying to get ready for virtual Pride this year. Like, that's got to be a huge shift and a lot of work. But I'm excited to check it out because I'm definitely not going downtown.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This red paint is not cooperating. Let's try this. Woo, hold on. Oh well. Okay. Where am I starting with this? These guys are kind of small, so I think I'm going to start. This is a 20-0 brush. It looks a little frayed, but I'll correct it beforehand. Woo. And we're just going to start right at the top of those eye stalks with some purple, but I'm actually going to lighten up a bit because it's pretty dark. And I don't want these to be grim rainbows, which I didn't think could be a thing, but it turns out it can.
What scared the brush so much? Why is it frayed?
Nothing but trouble, you know that?
Bring all the puns from the railroad.
Timer hit. Well, thankfully, I was already done priming him. He's not dry yet, but, but I was done priming him. Maybe we'll have to set more challenges so that we up the donations on purpose. I'll set myself really unreasonable things. Or chat can set them for me.
Interaction.
Yes, interaction, exactly. All right, so you're on to the next color on your slime. How is that going?
All right so far. Just kind of going down. I'm already at yellow.
Well done.
I'll probably go back through and do a second coat as well on everything.
I'm putting on my first bits here where I'm going to put the purple on our eye stalks. Ooh, that's too much paint. Try that again.
No such thing.
No, there is.
Solid ball of paint for model.
Pretty messy right now, but I'm also not trying to be perfect. And his eyes are purple now, but that also doesn't matter. That's our first base color, and I'm going to put our red on the end of these friendly little tentacles that they have. I don't know if people are familiar with flumphs. I'm sure Mike probably is because he's a GM, but...
No. I never knew.
So flumphs are these real friendly little fellers, and their whole dealio is that they're psychic, but they also are like super nice and full of love and want to help everybody that comes by, or at least that's how they were described to me. So I couldn't think of anything more full of love to paint for Pride than flumphs.
This is a slime.
I
It
know.
likes to eat things.
Yeah, what would you use a flumph for? Amanda at work once said that she used a flumph to teach her party not to be murder hobos. Aww. I can't imagine having a wild magic surge and then having a thing that looks like this show up and not be a little bit afraid that it's going to need to be attacked.
They came from everywhere and nowhere.
I have painted a kraken, and I really loved him. Maybe I'll put pictures up sometime. I sold him to a lovely fella named Eamon.
This is a very green.
Oh golly, yeah. That's quite green. You're doing pretty well so far at keeping up with when it's still wet, though.
Yep. The key is just kind of keep on moving.
That's exactly. You just gotta keep on going. I'm gonna actually switch brushes to something a little bit wider for these tentacles because they are being annoying. Let's get out the fancy Kolinsky Masterclass brush. Ooh, baby. If you
Breaking out the good china.
If you go to Artist Emporium, it turns out that you can just buy these. You can just buy it like from the Kolinsky collection. There's like 6 or 7 brushes there you can buy.
You know, we should also do a thing where chat decides if we aren't going to do a, because next month we're doing the paint night kit if that comes out?
They should be. They were supposed to come out in July, and now they've been updated to September 2nd, so they better come out. But Mike actually asked if we were using any mixing medium or just a wet palette. You're using the Citadel, like, sort of wet palette, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just using a metal palette from Artist Emporium with all the little divots in it to hold my paint, because I usually use squeeze bottle paints. It does mean that I water down my paints a bit more before I get started.
As I get further into this mini, I'm going to use one brush for painting it, one brush for collecting the paint onto the palette, just so I don't blend them too much in my pots.
Smart. You're a smart man, Josh. If I was doing this on a palette like yours, I would often blend my entire rainbow beforehand. But I find that sometimes I end up getting too much paint that way. So I'm trying this a little bit more controlled so that I'm not wasting like 10 drops of paint every time that I do this.
Eventually I will use some medium on the purple, because I wasn't able to find a good supplement for violet to indigo.
Right.
So I will probably just water down that purple a little bit.
That's quick shade wash mixing medium if you want it. It just helps to keep the amount of adhesive up in your paint. They're all juicy. There we go. And I can get started. Okay, so we're gonna probably redo our purple on his eye stalks, and then what I'm gonna probably end up doing is drawing the blue up just a little bit onto the eye stalks, but not like a ton, and then do most of the top of him blue.
I may or may not have underestimated the amount of space I needed.
Oh, for all these colors?
Yeah, making this area bigger.
Yep. So I'm not going to rinse my brush before I go to the next color. I'm actually going to take some of that color on the side. So I've got the purple on my brush here, and I take this color just up the side a bit from the first part of the transition, and then when I come back, I'm going to go into this part of the blue. So you get kind of half shades, half colors that way.
It's known as a sheller.
A sheller,
yeah.
Yes. Is that a type of Pokemon?
Could be.
It could be.
Gen 19.
I don't think it is though, but it could be. All right, so now we pull a little bit more blue into that side bit there. And now I'm gonna rinse my brush to get all the purple out and go right into just the blue. And I brought the purple down a little bit into here, and now we're just gonna go along the edges of where that bits of purple and blue are, and we're gonna blend them a little bit just by heating that all up in there. I usually use little circular motions. I'm not an expert at this, but like it seems to work for me, so whatever.
Yep. If I think I've been going on a layer for too long, I'll usually put a quick fresh coat at the very bottom, just so it'll blend a little better with the next coat that I apply.
I've got some watery blue between my blue and my green here, and I'm just gonna drop some green in there. And then I'm probably gonna pick up a little more blue because it's quite green right now to get halfway between our blue and our green. If you think it's not perfect when you're doing this, you just gotta motor through, because it's gonna dry that way, and you're gonna do a second coat of this anyway, and just kind of try to learn from what you've done before. There we go. So we've got a mixed green bluish color there in between them, and let's get in there. So for this one, I'm actually going up onto the blue mostly, where I had painted before. It all looks quite gray now. I'm probably going to use lighter ones later, I would think. have to guess about what you're going to remember to move over to the camera so you're not like listening to me and not seeing any of it. Oh no, my blue's drying really fast. That's not great.
Yeah, I was actually watching some videos and it said that Army Painter and their paints use a lot of flow improver in general, so their paints dry a little bit slower, which is really good for wet blending apparently.
I'm actually going to dip back into this blue for a second with some extra water. Let's try and get that to open. It's weird to explain because I usually just do it. Okay, we're starting to look a bit more blended. Hopefully that'll be better with the next layer. Now let's just get some straight up green in there. A little bit of extra water.
Yeah, I think I've only ever actually wet blended once, and that was kind of doing some moth wings, going from like a greenish to a blue. So it's nice, just kind of a reminder for this to help me remember how I do it. Oh, purple is just going away.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's kind of sucking like up into the blue. Ah, well. Should be what should be.
I had this grand idea to do a ASMR paint stream where you just occasionally hear and then every so often just the wet palette or the water pot.
Here, get it right close to the microphone. Yeah. Let's do them a favor. God, I hate that so much.
No!
I hate that so much.
Mike, how dare you? It's my master plan.
I don't like it. That might just be me, but I'm not a fan. Alright, well he's a bit of a mess right now, but he's getting there. So when I get to a break in the miniature itself, I like to sort of stop and let it start to settle and reevaluate what I've done. Think about what you've done.
No, I just chose everything. Well, you've never wet blended? Yeah, wet blending can be a little bit daunting as well, just because you're mixing paints together. You kind of don't know how it's going to feel.
I wasn't super worried about it after like makeup and stuff, but that's like I imagine not everybody has experience with makeup and nail polish and you, but you are pristine every day, Josh.
That's a lie.
All right, so this little fella's gonna just do a little bit of drying here. Because when I get onto those little tentacles all coming out the bottom, I'm gonna do kind of a lime bright green for my transition. So I don't want to put too much of that darker green there. I don't think that's going to translate well.
Just record dry brushing. Perfect. Do it on like a really furry model. And the occasional of, damn. Sitting on a gold mine idea right here.
No. We are not doing Game Night's ASMR paint stream. I am not down. Well, in the meantime, while I wait for this guy, he is a pretty handsome guy, isn't he? I honestly think that we're pretty lucky at Game Night to have a whole bunch of stunners working for us. Yeah, you. All right, so while this flumph does a little bit of drying, I'm going to actually do this other flumph, who seems a little sad, honestly. Don't worry.
Where'd all your paint go? It disappeared.
Alright. Fine. Focus on my hand instead of the flump then. Whatever. I'm going to do him opposite. So the bottom of his tentacles are going to be that purple. And then the top's going to be a red.
A little bit hard to see, but the detail so far.
I actually think it's coming along pretty nice.
I'll try and take some pictures as well and put them in a Discord server.
You should take, once it's dry, I would recommend taking a before you gloss it up picture, and then after you gloss it up, because the gloss makes it mostly transparent again, and it completely changes how it looks.
I'm also going to go through a second layer with this. I'm also probably going to go from the bottom up. Well, maybe. So I've been mixing the top or the bottom color with the top color, so I might try to go with the bottom color, the top color to the bottom color. Stop my brain from working there.
Brain goes. I got some paint on his.
Reminds me of a rocket popsicle. Yes.
I love those. Drink responsibly, but Smirnoff makes, if you're into coolers, they make a beverage that is flavored like those red, blue, and white like rocket popsicles. It's pretty delicious.
I'm used to sitting down all day. I gotta use proper posture.
Oh yeah, sorry. I suppose I could have gotten us something with a back on it.
No, all good.
But then you can't see my fancy feature wall, which is obviously about me. No. So I was looking at the Pride website. Have had them. Oh, the Rocket Pops. Oh yeah, the drinks. Yeah, they are good, aren't they? I don't usually like super sweet stuff, but if I'm in the mood for something sweet, I really like those.
I mostly am a wine person. I like chocolate wine. So good.
Well, I can see we have very different tastes here. Chocolate wine is usually on the sweeter side, which is not my jam, but I do love me Spanish wine mostly. I really like a Tempranillo from the Rioja Valley, but like, that sounds pretentious as all shit, so. Wish I could matches me.
Yeah. No comment.
Right, so on the Pride website, I found out that they have this program to help fund like other events for the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to ask Chrissy about it because I want to know more. Because like that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that they did more than like the once a year sort of festival thing and then like some small fundraisers. So it's neat to know that they're at a point where they can use some of their funds to help other people celebrate in their own way. This part's not exciting. I'm just doing that thing again where I'm putting paint on either end so that I know what direction I'm going. And the end colors are solid. No, I'm not gonna screw them up.
Not getting the right mix that I kind of wanted with this.
No.
So I might just try a couple darker shades on one of them.
Do that.
Darken it up.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might try and mix a darker green that I also have. See if that kind of darkens it.
Somebody wants to know what you're doing this evening.
What am I doing this evening?
Is this a date?
No, I'm going to be hanging out with some friends afterwards, and we're going to be playing some board games.
Winky face. I don't know, Josh. You might have to ditch your friends for this hot stranger date.
Yes, they are 100% a stranger.
Is it hot?
No. Nope, I just picked up a new used game, and I'm very excited to play it. It's Monarch. You play as a bunch of sisters who are fighting for the crown, and you pretty much win by winning over the people.
More bread.
More bread. But you see, I go and feel... No date.
No date.
Oh, no. They may be included in my evening plans already.
Wild.
It's maybe a setup.
I enjoy that. All right, so this little baby can now sit here and let his end colors solidify.
Okay. I'm going to wait for this to dry up a bit, and then I'm going to put a couple extra shades on that second middle purple part.
In about 20 minutes or so, keep that in mind, we're going to take a little break and get connected with Chrissy, the accessibility director for Pride Winnipeg. And once we're back with her, we're going to chat for a while, and then we're going to do some draws. Which draw should we do first? What do you think?
I say we should do... One of the dice tower and a dice tray.
A dice tower and the dice tray?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into that. So we'll do 2 draws when we come back. So just, I want to make sure that you're not in a point where it's like, but I'm painting something really interesting. We can't stop now. Not that we're going to stop painting while we're talking with Chrissy, but yes. Just trying to be organized, unlike the start of this.
Organization is my anathema.
What?
I'm always off the cuff.
I see.
I never prepare for whenever I run D&D. It's always just like, cool, what's good today? Storm giants walking around, sure, why not?
Right, so he's almost, she, I don't know why I've gendered these babies. This flumph is not in focus. Right? But he's almost dry. Oh, my poor sweet thing. I give up. I hope you guys like my hands. Are any of you palm readers? Will I live a good long life according to what you saw on video?
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even see
The
it.
trick is to make it seem like you've prepared. I appreciate that. I got through most of high school that way. Supposed to do a presentation on Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice? Just wing it.
I had a book report to do on the Book of Salem. I couldn't even bring myself to read it because it was so weird and wonky.
I don't know what that book is.
It's about the Salem witch trials.
It wasn't about the black cat from the Sabrina 90s television show?
Darn, that would have been so much better.
The nails on the boat. Oh my god.
The nails on the boat go.
Boop, 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 boop. I use my nail dotting tools for that, so that I get perfect circles.
I want to get ink pens at some point.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And try and just do like some, like, I'm horrible at freehanding stuff, but I want to try and do like little drawings on stuff.
Alright, I'm going to pull some of this yellow out of the yellow pot, and put a whole bunch of it off to the side, and then put in only just a smidge of green, because this green paint is pretty strong. Yeah.
So we go.
Mix that in up here. And connect them. Why not? Now I got a bit darker one. And now we're going to start putting on the miniature. Flump, flump, flump. Take my darker stuff from the right hand side and
Just a picture in the Discord so you guys can see a little bit better, maybe. The camera is not picking this one up too well. There we go. What's going on here? Oh boy, I just got a notification that we're live.
oh good, I'm glad.
Who would have known?
Nobody would know. We would be sitting here all by our lonesomes.
At least I would have had stellar company.
I'm not from the stars. Oh, it's me. It's just like, I'm not Saint Seiya. Where do you think I come from?
We really do like Sailor Moon, so I can't rule anything out.
Alright, so we've got some wet green on this bad boy, and we're going to keep going. So, right into the yellow here. With a little bit more green in her. And, oh boy, okay. So, at first, they're just going to be next to each other. And I'm going to brush some of this off and try to pull this green down a little bit.
Pull the green down.
Yeah, pull the green down into the lighter yellow there. Which means that I might need to get more of that green on my brush every once in a while to help me pulling that down. Keep that green over there a little more wet.
What else is everyone else painting today? We got a boat, we got some
Necrons? No,
Necromunda.
Necromunda. I've been hogging the camera, by the way. If you wanted to show off what you're doing, you're more
It
than
was a little bit hard to see in the camera, so I think I'll let you live the limelight. I also stole a last stream from you.
Oh, yeah, but you were painting those sick ladies. So.
I was also painting.
Yeah, just shut up. The sass. The audacity.
I gotta have something, okay? You can't be the only sassy one.
Oh, fine. I guess I can share that with you. Just like you share the camera with me. Splitsies. Yes, splitsies. Like a milkshake. There we go. Oh, I didn't get any green in there. Come on, Tabitha, get yourself together.
Oh, the gurg.
The gurg.
The gurg. Picking up my own colors here. Gurg, your lure. Erd. Your lure. I'd like to buy your lure one.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Is chartreuse gurg or yurder? I think people would argue that chartreuse is basically both, yes. It's that, if you've seen construction workers out with those bright green, bright yellow vests on, that are kind of green, kind of yellow, that's chartreuse.
Okay.
It's also a kind of liquor, but that's a totally different kettle of fish. Alright, moving on to the orange here. And it looks like most of this guy's tentacles are going to end up being a lot of orange. Ooh, I should mix that with yellow first.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no?
Oh no, 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 no. There we go. Always an adventure trying to close these lids without spilling them.
It really, really is. Okay, let's pull some of that down. Dangerously close to the red when I want to do like an orange-red blend before it.
If you aren't painting dangerously, are you even painting at all?
Yes. Listen, I think Bob Ross would argue that painting is pretty not dangerous in general. You know what I mean?
Touché.
I mean, Bob Ross was in the military.
That is true. He was a drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm. Which is like so funny when you think about how calm and chill he is.
Yeah.
Was? Well,
He still is. In our hearts.
no.
I do lawn work to Bob Ross painting. Makes the yard work so much easier.
I'm sorry. Are you telling me that you listen to Bob Ross while you mow the lawn?
Yes.
Ah, that's fun.
I'm happy little tree. Brrr.
Brr. I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to listen to that to lawnmower ASMR. That's not something I want to hear. I would argue it's probably not ASMR. Ooh. Okay, we're still doing good. We're doing okay. Yeah. Alright, so we got some orange on there. I think I've got it on pretty much all of our canopies.
Please.
Josh, do you play FTG by chance?
I saw that and I didn't want to comment.
Oh my god, I love it! We did used to have shirts at the store made by the boss's eldest child that were, I'd tap that and they were blue and they had like a little tap symbol instead of the word tap. Well, I believe we ended up donating most of those to Goodwill, but they were there for a while. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down to the pull it down. We need a ring light like right by this camera because I'm blocking all the light.
You're saying this lamp isn't good enough?
I live so this is so we're in my dining room, and it only has one light.
I think the sun's starting to come out a bit more.
Way over there, thank God. And it's not great. The room is quite large, so we have a lamp there and a lamp there, and yeah, I don't know if we'll be ever in this room again for this. I'm hoping that in the near future we'll have something more permanent set up at game night, so I don't have to move our equipment every single time. We'll see. We'll get there.
No, every stream, new location. Next time, middle of the park.
I'm in, but I feel like that's going to give us some audio problems.
We'll wear mics.
I'm not buying lapel mics, are you? Oh no. My blend was too wet and it creeped up between some of these tentacles.
Not the tentacles.
Yeah. I'm going to try and yellow it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so I screwed that up, so I just took some more paint and fixed it. I'm sorry I didn't show it. I was trying to get it done quick. But I did have some paint creeping up where it should not have been.
Darn creeping paint.
Creeping paint. Yeah, it's like Anakin said, I hate paint. It gets everywhere. That's what that was the line, right?
Yeah, I've seen Star Wars. There we go. That's a bit better.
I use Army Painter's matte spray top coat to seal most of my miniatures. If I want it to be glossy, I just use the gloss one. They make their gloss one is actually satin, so it's not like shiny. For your big boat, probably if you spray it with a matte top coat, it's just clear, and if you need to paint over it, you can. You would just need to re-seal it again afterwards. Oh no, there's more orange getting up there. Okay, let's grab some yellow here and try to fix this a little bit. There we go. I think we pulled most of that out. I think we're okay.
Who did that?
Thanks. I did do it, didn't I?
So pretty.
That is my fault for using a bit too much paint while I was wet blending. Thanks. He's a cutie, isn't he? Yeah, brush on varnish is also good. That boat is very big. I use brush on varnish for a lot of my smaller bits. So if I say spray a miniature with the matte spray, I will then take gloss varnish and gloss up all the little bits that I want. It turns out it doesn't all have to be the same sheen. I love the brush on for that. I find brush on for gloss works really well. You got there?
Yeah, took 3 tries.
Well, I'm glad you got there, though.
Alright. I'll let that dry for a little bit, because I think we're going to be going for a break soon.
Yes, we will go on a very short, like 5-minute break so we can get connected to Christy.
Yes.
And we will return. I'm excited to ask her some questions about stuff on the Pride website that I was not really familiar with and didn't really, like I wasn't sure about that. And I'm really excited to know more about their accessibility measures. Like on the website, it mentioned a little bit sort of how they work their colors so that it doesn't bother people with sensitivity to colors or to lights or to contrast. And that's a world that's very foreign to me, and I'm really interested to know like how that works and like how you can guarantee that everybody's different like computers and cell phones and stuff are going to all translate that in a way that isn't going to harm anybody, you know?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, one of our customers who comes by has mentioned it to me before and sort of explained it, and she Lexi, she explained it really well, and I'm just not very familiar with it, so. Yeah, well, why don't we, since my little flumpy baby is sitting here as his little rainbow self, and why don't we take our little break now, and then right shortly after 3 o'clock, we should be back with our guest.
Yeah. And we'll do the giveaways after that as well.
Yes.
Or during that.
Or during that, yeah. That sounds kind of fun. Okay, I will. Yeah. Where is it? That's the one. Now that I've screwed
Okay,
this up.
cool. No worries. Okay, let me just refocus. Okay. Hi, my name is Christy. My pronouns are she/her, and I am the accessibility director for Pride Winnipeg. I work on making Pride accessible to the disability community, but also like the general audience. People who use a walker. People who have babies or toddlers and want to pull a wagon or a stroller and all that fun stuff.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's good. Right now, like my primary focus is working primarily accommodating the disability community in Winnipeg to make sure they can I was gonna say go to Pride, but Pride's virtual this year, thanks to the pandemic. But working on things for next year for Canada Pride because we are hosting it next year and ensuring people will be able to get around, people will be able to enjoy a quiet space, but also like participate in everything going on. Having alcohol-free zones for people who um, either can't drink, don't drink, or are working on their sobriety, right? Because unfortunately, drinking is part of the culture, right? So ensuring that people who fall under the that category that can't or don't or whatever can also enjoy Pride too without that pressure. Um, and this also includes like the smoking zone and all that stuff too. So, and then on our end, like the website and our wonderful app that our amazing marketing director has been working day and night on making sure it's accessible, making sure that colors are seen properly with the contrast, and it includes making sure that there are image descriptions. If you look on our social media, all of our posts have image descriptions so that people who can't see can still see the picture with that description.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of like my position in a nutshell. There's more to it, but it's kind of the bare bones.
And if people don't know what social medias can they find you at?
Yeah, so our social media is Pride Winnipeg. I actually have to confirm that. I just type it in and it just automatically fills it.
I completely understand that. That happens to me all the time.
Anyways, that's on Facebook and Instagram. So, but yeah, no, that's kind of my position. I obviously am one of the ones that kind of works with the other departments sometimes more than others. Making sure I get to work with marketing all the time and actually kind of build that, working relationship. I get to work with parade and the festival and all that fun stuff. So it's a great time. I've been in the position for a year now, and the pandemic, it did what it did, and we're just going along for the ride.
I'm just happy to see something happening this year because just switching to virtual seems like a load of work, and I guess there's probably, I would think you've probably, I mean, you can confirm this. I'm assuming there's going to be ASL translators and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So we work with our big thing right now is like ensuring that our virtual Pride has closed captions, just because when reaching out to the whole community, not everybody who's deaf or hard of hearing actually knows ASL. So it's important that captions are there, and not just for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. It's also great for people whose English isn't their first language. or are learning English in general, But yeah, so primarily we're gonna work on captions for this virtual Pride. Everything will be streamed on our YouTube channel, but all that information can be found on our wonderful app. If you just go to the App Store, both Google Play if you have an Android, or the Apple Store, and just type in Pride Winnipeg. It's a pink logo with a white logo with a pink background.
Let's see here. Pride Winnipeg. If I was good at this, I would have had this on my phone already. Look and go. Oh, yeah, I see it.
So that the app actually goes into our programming, our events, our social media, and there's a calendar breakdown. Yeah, it's our pretty
I'm
wonderful.
gonna install that right now. I'm excited.
And you can keep up to date that way with everything that's happening this year, September 3rd, which will start with the flag raising at City Hall, and then end on the 12th. So
Lots of things to drop into then. Like
yeah.
we work full time, but it's nice to know that like we can just drop in. I really like the virtual aspect there for just general, but obviously it makes it at least available during the pandemic.
What is very interesting is that it's because it's virtual, it's more accessible too, right? So
yeah, I was going to say that for a lot of people who can't make it down either
yeah,
work or afraid to go outside right now or go see other people.
Or like just living maybe say in like a northern community where you can't make it down to the city all the time, right? Like 7-hour drive from Thompson up there. That's quite a bit of gas, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's nice. Okay, interesting. I wonder. I'm gonna try and coerce my mother into watching some with me. I'm working on her. She's getting there.
So tell me more about the painting that you've been doing.
We've been blending colors by keeping them wet when you're putting them on the miniature, so that you don't have to try to color match and like do it in striations. And that's about it. I'm going to paint the Owlbear to match the colors of the trans flag when I get to that one, and these little flumphs are just rainbow. Flumphs are really cute because, as I mentioned a little bit before, they are psychic space squids, essentially, that love everyone and want to help everyone. And they pop up and they look a little bit monstrous, but they actually are just like really, really kind and full of love, and I just love them.
Aw, they're so cute.
It's not gonna focus. I give up.
No.
I'm sure I'm gonna get a palm reading by the end of this video. The more I use my hands
fine.
for that.
And I've been working on a slime because I thought that it being clear would be really nice to try and see the colors through all the different sides. And because it's also gender fluid.
Awesome.
I would think that slime would be agender, but I love the story you've written for them. They're beautiful. I think that's going to look really good once you gloss it up.
And we did get another Happy Pride.
Oh, we got another Happy Pride? Oh, I got to mark it down.
Just a reminder, for each person who comments Happy Pride, Tabitha will be donating $2 to Pride.
That's me.
Yeah. And of course, up to a maximum
I
of
love
$500.
it.
So what got you applying at Pride? How did you get this job a year ago?
I've always wanted to kind of work in the disability community in some sort of, whether it's employment place or more volunteer. So, and being part of the community, I saw on their Facebook post that they were looking for certain positions, and I kind of looked through it. I was also, because of the pandemic, a lot of people can probably agree, they were bored, and so I was bored. And I was kind of looking for something to do, but I also wanted something that would be meaningful and impactful, right? Actually, unfortunately, before the pandemic, I was actually starting the process to volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters, but that also got kind of closed down because of the pandemic.
A little bit during the pandemic.
Yeah, so I saw the Pride position, and I saw accessibility director and accessibility team lead. Which, if anybody wants to help me do accessibility things, come and help and sign up and volunteer at Pride. Um, and
It's not too late for this one?
no,
Oh, good.
well, it's probably a little late for this one, but get you started for next year, where it's gonna be big and very lots of fun, because we are hosting Canada Pride.
Yeah, I did not know that. That's very exciting. I'm on the Pride website now, and if you're on there yourself, I believe in the Get Involved tab, you can find volunteer as its own tab there. Very easy to get to. And then there's both board opportunities and Pride season volunteers. So I will probably set up. It's been a while since I had something to volunteer for.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds fun. Should we get the whole store involved? Do you think I can coerce everybody in the store to volunteer?
I think you can get everyone, but I think a large number wouldn't mind.
Oh, I guess we do need people to be at the store to run.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just being really selfish here, and I'm like, everybody come volunteer. Oh, is that another Happy Pride? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's get this.
Thank you, Megan and Ryan.
I appreciate it. It's something that I want to do, but it's also really fun to have the community involved.
Yeah.
So that, and my husband very kindly pointed out to me that I should put a limit on it in case somebody raids the stream, and then we go broke. So
I wouldn't mind.
I was gonna say that's a good thing to go broke for. I think.
I mean, there are worse reasons to go broke.
I completely agree. I read a little bit about the Resurgence Fund, and the first person who replied to my emails mentioned it, and I read a little bit about it online, but I didn't actually look at the application form. So I was wondering if maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so obviously, because I'm not the one who is kind of in charge of that, I actually had to get help from our executive assistant. I was like, they asked about this thing, and I'm like, I don't know all the things. Anyway, so the Resurgence Fund is basically funded by donations, and it is an opportunity for organizations in the community get a grant for whether it's like a business plan or whether it's an event that they want to host. But basically, what you have to do is you kind of briefly mentioned earlier. So there's a Google form on our website if you look up the Resurgence Fund, and you fill that out, and you have to either kind of outline what the money is going to be used for, or either have a business plan ready, whether you want to start a business and you're part of the community and want to kind of help get a kickstart, or if you want to host, I don't know, like a drag bingo night and you need some help with running that, that's always what the money can go towards. And thankfully us, because of all the donations we've had, we've actually able to approve more grants than any other year because of everyone donating. So that's wonderful to hear.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's so great. I love that.
Yeah. So does that answer kind of the questions that you?
Actually is, yeah, that's a lot more information than what I got from just looking at the site, which is very informative. Like, I think it's been built really well. But there's obviously that insider stuff that you only really find out when you're either part of the organization or you're actually applying for it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for. I knew that wasn't your job, but I really appreciate you illuminating us on that. That's right. Because I was curious. I saw pictures on the website for that page with different communities and stuff displayed, and I went, oh, that's very interesting. I wonder what that all entails. So that's really good to know. All right, people, so now we're going to have to start a whole bunch of initiatives, and we know where to go for funding.
Yep.
I want giant pride-colored polar bears all across the city.
You could kind of do that with bears. Some of the, I'm pretty sure there was a bear on Broadway that was bigger.
Lots of bears.
Lots of bears. You do love your bears.
Yeah, I
right?
don't. I'm trying to remember. Is there a gigantic pride polar
I
bear?
don't remember for sure either. Should we go into no, Tabitha? Don't suggest crimes. Do not deface the polar bears.
It's not defacing if it's an upgrade.
It was quite a bit of money to get those polar bears, though, for Bears on
Yeah.
Broadway. So I wouldn't exactly expect a charitable organization to go out and spend a bunch of their money that they could be using for grants for people who need
I
it.
don't think that would be the community would really approve of that
Yeah.
spending.
Another giant polar bear.
Okay, well, let's get into sculpting and get this going. All right, I'm just gonna, before we continue, to show off. This little feller is now done in the opposite direction of rainbow,
Nice.
and I think he turned out pretty well with the wet blending.
Yeah.
Please don't look at my palm and tell me that I'm gonna die.
There we go.
Yeah, he's a little cutie. And now I'm going to start onto, I think the primer on this bear is dried enough that I can start applying the pinks and blues with a different kind of paint. We're going to use ones that are supposed to do most of the work for you.
Yeah, I'm going to try some colors on the bottom here so you can kind of get some different colors so when you look through it at the bottom.
So I'd love to know about what you stream. You said that you do stream.
Yeah. So, like a lot of my friends that I met through streaming, we all started during the pandemic because what else are you gonna do? But yeah, I stream a variety of games. I stream cozy games like Stardew Valley, and then I love games like Dark Souls.
Yes.
Hold on, I just need to get into my personal Twitch because I love Stardew Valley, and I could you, if you don't mind, pushing your own channel a little bit, would you mind telling me what your channel is?
Yeah, and actually, I'll put it in. I'll put a message in chat. So
Give me another happy cry.
for anybody that wants to follow. But yeah, so I kind of just variety. I don't really have a schedule. I tried that thing and it wasn't really working for me.
It can be really hard to keep up with. It's hard to keep up with a schedule because I've been getting my own equipment. Like this is my audio technique to start myself instead of just for work. But every time that I look at it, I'm like, ooh, they want me to be on a strict schedule and always available. Like, I don't know, it worries me. I don't have a lot of anxiety, but that's one of them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely like my community is great. They understand. If I want to stream every single day 1 week, or if maybe I need to take some time off, which I did actually the last week. But yeah, I'm actually almost done Dark Souls 1 because I saw Josh get just kind of excited
I love Dark Souls 1. It's
about
my
that.
favorite one.
But yeah, no, I definitely have the range of games I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Golden Girls, where Dorothy, is she gonna go commit murder or is she gonna go get ice cream? Well, we'll figure out it on the ride.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's how I decide what I'm gonna stream. Do I feel like committing murder? Do I want to go get ice cream?
I honestly, that's another thing with it. I'm like, okay, I want to start out doing like classic games on an emulator.
Yeah.
A bunch of the old Sailor Moon side scroll beat 'em ups and the RPG.
That is awesome.
They are not well designed, but I love Sailor Moon. So, but I'm like, what if I get tired of that? What if my channel expects that of me, and then I'm not delivering that anymore? Do I lose viewers? I don't know. I admire you for doing it at all because I find it very intimidating. I'm doing this for work, which is a totally different kettle of fish.
Right.
It was absolute shite. I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna get fired. But I don't know. It feels like too much pressure when I think about doing it myself on my own.
I mean, if you want to do it, you just gotta like try it, I think, and kind of make the plunge. And it's always awkward at first because you start with very few people watching and stuff, and then you slowly just build your community and find new friends along the way. I've definitely made a couple friends and reconnected with some people with with being game night I knew a lot of people when I used to go to C4 when Comic Con was a thing in the city.
Yep.
And so
Sorry.
actually through streaming, I reconnected with some of those Comic Con friends because they also stream. So
If I'm thinking of the right Borealis, I might actually know them from back in Comic Con days, but I could be wrong.
you probably are thinking of the right Borealis. Yes.
They agree.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hi. Yeah, I did like being at Comic Con. It was stressful, and I was probably too young and dumb for my position, but it was good. It was a good time. It was stressful.
Yep, it was. It was a stressful time.
It was stressful time. So I've started with the contrast paint here, and if I can get this to focus on his butt, you can kind of see that some of it's lighter and some of it's darker, and that's because the contrast paint sinks into the crevices and it does my shading for me. I'm showing you this very
That
quickly
is awesome.
because I need to move on to the pink paint, or it's not
It's
gonna
go downhill from there.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too blended because I don't want a purple line in it because that's not part
Right.
of the trans flag, but I don't want it to be a stark line either.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because this is an Owlbear, I'm probably going to bring the blue all the way up to the top of his butt and do a little bit of blending here at the seam. I find that when I'm wet blending, for those of you who are also painting, it's a little easier to hide your blending if you do it at natural sort of spots in your miniature where there's a natural line. Yeah. I was going to call
knees
it
and butts, you know?
Yes. I was going to call it an Adonis line, and then I realized that's on the front. Josh doesn't know what that is.
No.
Oh, that's all right. Sorry, you talked a bunch about your stream, and then I didn't actually catch your stream name.
Oh, it is Christy MJM. I put it in chat so that you knew.
The same name that you have. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gasp.
Yeah, I've also been enjoying streaming a lot here. I've been able to connect with a lot of customers who I usually don't get a lot of time to talk to as well with a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's nice building up our own little micro community in a community as well.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. I'm
what else do you I know you're doing the miniatures today. What else do you talk about on stream?
So far we've only just been doing the miniature painting stream, but a lot of what we talk about is either things that are going on in the community or more often than not anime recommendations.
Got a hot take later I gotta recommend as well.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Hello. Did you read that? I was too far away for me to read.
No, I can't read because I don't have glasses on.
Thank you for following. I'm assuming that's what it was. Because we are not affiliates, so we don't get bits or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I had a question in mind for you and I've forgotten, Chrissy.
We also talk a lot about shilling. I shill out a lot.
Last time that we were doing this, he was pushing for a miniature game that he's really been enjoying painting, and he just wants people to play with.
Uh-oh. What's the game? Why does this sound like it's...
Oh, it's not bad. It's kind of new, and it's sort of flew under the radar, but it's also...
It came out right before the pandemic started, and it's flying a little bit low, but the miniatures are really cool, the community's really nice. The devs are really inclusive for everyone of all different... not the devs, the creators are all inclusive for all different cultures of people. In the Discord, they have all we have a lot of Italian speakers, so we're going to make this Italian server so people can speak Italian. And then same with French, German, other stuff like that. So they seem really nice there.
That is pretty cool. Plus, you had those thick thighs on those dragon or dino rider ladies. Yes. I love those girls.
My matriarchy of orcs.
They're so cool. I wish I had thighs like that. Anyway.
Just ride a bareback on a velociraptor. Done.
I can't get one of those. And also, you offend me. Velociraptors are the size of a turkey in reality. Utah raptors are more like what was used in Jurassic Park. I like dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are fun.
Thank you. I think so too.
Are you excited for the Jurassic Park game?
I am. I'm actually way too excited for it. I saw the advert for it, and my boyfriend showed me, and I just like lost my mind. I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't just buy it for me, because right now I want to finish with Hades first.
Hades.
Oh my goodness.
I love Hades.
I
I'm
love
gonna
Hades.
ask where you are so I don't spoil things. Where are you in the game?
I really appreciate that. I've only made it out twice, maybe 3 times now.
Okay.
To see, I don't spoil. Sorry. Oh, another happy Pride. I'm gonna mark that down. But for anybody who hasn't played Hades, I don't want to spoil things for you. But if you're familiar with Greek mythology, I am playing this game and like looking at Demeter and being like, when do we find this out? When do we get there? Sorry.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten there at all yet, but I've been out a couple of times and seen Persephone. So that's where I'm at.
Mhm. I have seen the credits. And now I'm working on like post game things.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a special scene when you complete 10 runs, and I haven't gotten there yet.
Ooh. Oh boy. I have to stop thinking about it. I really want. All right, guys, I'm done streaming now. I'm gonna leave you here with my laptop and Josh, and I'm gonna go up to the gaming PC and like.
There you go.
So our blue here is shifting into some purple pants a little bit.
Oh, purple pants. Okay.
Well, more blue pants, but
it does not want to focus.
So this one's supposed to be better at autofocusing, and I thought about setting it at a specific focal length.
Right.
And just always having to put our miniatures there, which I probably should have done because we had paper on the table, and I totally could have just put an X there where you're supposed to put the minis, but I didn't.
Okay. Next time.
I appreciate the X, Josh, but that's not going to help the camera.
Try.
But yes, next time. Oh boy.
So I know we briefly mentioned local events. What kind of local events have you been talking about?
Well, during the pandemic, not as much, but mostly the reopening of things. There was a drag show 2 nights ago that I really wanted to go to, and then was just like way too exhausted after work. But when we have our events back up for the store again, we'll be talking about those. But mostly it's, oh, I heard that there's a farmer's market over here that's opening up, and like, there's a cool fundraiser happening at, the WAG or whatever, which I haven't been to see the new Indigenous art wing of the WAG, and I'm really excited for that.
I haven't either, and I definitely want to go. As somebody who is very high risk for COVID and, was very happy to get vaccinated and stuff, I was very unhappy to see places not required, to show that your vaccination. So now that they're implementing it again, and I'm like, I can actually go outside again. And it sounds really sad, but it's true. Like, there are people in the community, kind of.
I'm just glad you're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like it's clear that I don't want to make this into Tabitha's politics podcast, but
no, that's fine.
Our government is not enforcing protection. Let's put it that way. So we are forced to do it ourselves. Our store specifically, when they lifted the mask mandate, we did not.
Right.
Masks and sanitizing and all that stuff is required in store, which I was thankful for as an employee.
Same with our community. It was overwhelmingly positive response from that.
We got a couple of negative ones, but most of them are really nice. I was on the phone with a lady like a week or so ago, and I was like, and she was asking about the store. She'd never been in. She was looking for backgammon boards, and I said, we require masks, which is nice. And she says, oh, you like that, do you? And I went,
oh,
I guess it makes me feel safe. And then once I was like, it's fine what you do on your own time in your own space, but it makes me feel safe. She calmed down, but like, that was a moment where I was like, right, I'm not talking to my peers. I'm talking to a customer. That's all.
Yeah, customer. Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. But
And I mean, with Pride happening and things, and different companies like M2IP who are starting to open up and actually working with us on hosting some amazing workshops for kids every Saturday in September. Um,
oh yes, the Manitoba Theatre for Young People partnership that's going on with Pride.
yeah,
That's really, really cool. Yeah, I read on the website that there's workshops. I was I was not a wealthy child growing up, so that's
yeah, no,
always really, really encouraging and important to see children being a priority. Oh, thank you for following. Oh, and I've got to mark down a couple more of those happy prides.
yeah, and these workshops are for the marginalized communities and the gender, sexual, relationship diverse communities too.
Mhm.
So I mean, um, it's great. It's always fun seeing like little kids have fun with like have theater or make believe, depending on the kids, how they,
Mhm.
you know.
How do they
I was
interpret
definitely
that?
one of those kids as a kid. Um, and it makes kids appreciate theater overall. Theater is very important. The
And
arts are very important in general, right? So
that's
that's
true.
one thing that I've really missed with the pandemic is not being able to go to like concerts and all that stuff. So,
I've definitely
oh,
missed that. That's I so I used to live downtown because one of my favorite things are events. They're
yeah.
concerts, they're theater, they're plays, they're I had actually bought tickets to the Carmen opera that was coming to town.
Oh,
And unfortunately that was canceled because of
right.
the pandemic.
Yep.
Um, but they offered either you could get a refund or you could choose to leave your money with them as a donation, which
Right.
I thought was a really smart way of them not really suffering during the pandemic, because obviously that was going to be a really hard time for all of the arts.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, poor things. But
Artists still need to get paid, so
it's
Yeah.
true. It's true. Starving artists should no longer be a reality in my mind. But that also, it's hard to find your audience, I think, sometimes too.
hmm.
But let's see, Decebum. It's probably I always read these as words, and probably some of them are initials at the end. But if they're not
Right.
capitalized, they get to be said as they get to be said as one word. Decebum. We are painting rainbow, and in this case, my owlbear is going to be painted like the trans flag miniatures to learn wet blending. And actually, I think we're probably just about ready to do a draw for
Ooh.
a prize. Let's see, which one should we start with, Josh?
I said let's try the dice tower. It's a nice new thing. We haven't had them ever before. They're foldable dice towers. It's kind of all self-contained, and they fold down. You cut a little dice tray, so it's all nice. Fits in a backpack really easily.
So anybody who's here in chat, who in the order that you showed up, I've given you a number, and we will just use a random number generator, and
Right.
whoever wins, great job. So,
Get you to contact us through our Discord, our store Discord page.
yeah, we can do that. I'll probably also send you a whisper just to make sure that you
Yeah.
don't get missed, especially because if you've been in chat and then you end up having to bounce for whatever reason, not the Twitch term bounce, but like the colloquialism bounce, you'll still be in the draw. Yeah, Jossum's over here like, I'm already won. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's go. Let me get my number generator here. I just need to get myself organized, which I should have done before every single time.
It was actually another thing that I started playing. I started playing D&D just before
Ooh,
everything
for the
kind of
first
hit.
time, or
Yeah. So I actually um the position I was in before the pandemic hit, one of my coworkers played D&D, and so he introduced me to my DM at the time. Unfortunately, we were going great, and then Christmas hit, and everybody was like, "I work in retail. I will want the whole month off." And guess what? It's still a month off. We haven't picked it up since.
Oh dear.
So
it does. I mean, it does happen, but it's always a little disappointing, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
Okay. So, oh, nice idea. Oh no, it's not a cult. Stop making people think it's a cult.
It used to be. We got out of that, or so we tell the truth.
All right. Well,
Exactly.
According to my random number generator, Borealis actually won this one.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's what cultists say.
Daniel, please don't. Oh, and Daniel said happy Friday. I'm gonna mark that down too. Okay, I'm just gonna mark here.
Yes, congratulations, Borealis.
Borealis has the
Wonderful
dice tower.
Foldable dice tower.
That is awesome.
Okay, let's see. Now we have to do another one.
Yeah. Which dice do you think we should do?
I don't know. Is there one that you like better than the other one?
Actually, which one do you like better?
Oh yeah, let's let the chat decide.
Or winner's choice.
Ooh, yeah, we can make it winner's choice.
Winner's choice, I like that.
Hopefully they're here so they can tell us. Oh my goodness.
Right. Wow, that's awesome.
Good night, blessing. Y'all are funny. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, where did my note go? Okay. Whew.
The bulk D20s are great value and roll great.
I don't know if they do roll great.
I want this specific D20. Shoves hand in jar. Ah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Is this Meg Stew?
Oh my gosh, both. Yeah. Megan won a prize.
Okay, Meg Stew is Megan. Could you, if you don't mind, oh yeah, sorry, Borealis. Oh no, I'm sorry about the volume. You won this dice tower.
Yeah, you want a foldable dice tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you can pick up at game night whenever you're in that side of town.
Oh no!
Chrissy is literally going to blow my speakers. Man, why is my... I'm gonna try. Maybe that'll make it more even.
I am sorry.
This is my first time trying to do a Discord call on here, so this is definitely my fault. You don't need to apologize for that. Okay. I'm so sorry. Well, Borealis, I apologize for the sound difference, but you did win a dice tower. I'll make sure that both of your names are on it at the store.
Okay, I just got a text. Megan had to step out to go do some work on a bike, so.
That's all right. I'm just gonna mark here dice tray, and if and when they are back around, they can choose. Or last time that we had multiple dice trays to give away, we kind of made it a first come first serve thing.
Right. That's fair.
So
I know for a fact Megan doesn't play D&D, so I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
Oh well, maybe you get a dice tray.
Maybe I get a dice tray.
Oh dear. I'm using a mic in a different room.
Might just be because the room is a lot more open.
Yeah, we are in my dining room, unfortunately. I don't know. I hope we get the permanent setup at Game Night soon, because having to set this up every month in a different spot is not great. Okay, my Owlbear has the pink and the blue, and I'm gonna let that dry a bit because I'm gonna have this white just there in the middle because I'm gonna have to start on the other side, and we will continue with that. What do you got?
I am pretty much done. I just need to put that varnish on. We're chatting about.
There's gloss varnish for you.
Gloss varnish.
So So I know that it's probably because there's nothing to do during the pandemic, but how did you get into D&D?
So I had a job before pandemic hit, and I had a coworker who played D&D, but they lived outside the city, and there wasn't any room for a new person to come into their campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a friend who was looking for people, and so I joined her group, and because of how when we started, it was actually all online.
Oh, that helps. Oh no! Okay, let's try this again. And yes, Borealis, you can definitely give it to Christy if you prefer. Okay, Christy, can you
Okay.
talk again?
How's it going?
Just gonna go have a cry in my corner now.
Just cry in the corner.
Sometimes when you change one setting, everything just goes out of whack, and it's just like creating something in Word. I swear, you move
Change
one thing to
all
the
the lines
right,
just go everywhere.
That's true.
and everything shifts. And you're like, I didn't ask for this, and then you just get frustrated.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But well then if Borealis is giving their dice tray to you, Christy, then we're gonna have to figure out what Meg's do with their dice tray. Maybe
I don't
just
know.
have all the D&D accessories now.
All the D&D accessories. So we were playing Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Ooh, that's fun. Is that the first one or the second one?
That's the first one.
That's the first one.
Because Rise of Tiamat is the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I think the plan was to finish Dragon Queen and then go to Tiamat, but we kind of, not that we rushed to the end because we knew we were going on a break, but we kind of rushed to the end, and then ironically we basically one-shot the final dragon.
OP, too much grinding.
Yeah, we had a very OP'd carrot tiefling on our side, so
I think that would do it. I actually I do have
time for Tabitha to chill.
So I have this Tiamat miniature I've been doing.
Oh my goodness, that is not a miniature, that is...
It's a full-on statue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful and I love her. Players what do you mean players ruining everything? Aren't you there for the players? Sorry, Mike.
That is a statue.
It is a statue.
That's a diorama.
Yeah, the base is kind of, hold on. This thing is as big as I am. Oh my god. Get your feet out of there.
Oh, it comes off of it as well.
Yes, I have not glued the dragon to it because it's very big. Okay, so she can come off. But
oh my gosh.
The diorama that Josh is referring to is all of these little details and stuff. Oh god, it's reversed. Don't mind the intestines. Sorry, I'll try to get past that. I don't want people to get grossed out. It's a dragon's lair. They're hungry.
That is cool.
But yeah, that's it. I've been working on this for a while, and somebody was in the store yesterday and wanted to watch the stream but see the dragon. So I told them, all right, I'll get the dragon on stream for a little bit. Probably.
I hope they're in chat.
I hope so.
Well, I took some pictures earlier, so I can post them if Tabitha's permission in the Discord.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. I have some work in progress.
What is the Discord if anybody wants to join?
So you can find our Discord at the bottom of our web store page. There should be a link there to join in on there. There's a bunch of different wargaming groups. There's stuff for Magic the Gathering and other card games and other role-playing games. There's general chat to contact us, the staff. There's general painting areas where I'm always in there as well.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, just at the bottom of our website, on our web store page, you'll find a link there, as long as all of our other links to all of our other social media accounts.
Yeah, I can't remember. You know what? I will take a hot second here to just jump over to the Discord. Oh, no, wait. But my stream is... No, but I used a pop-out window. I think it's going to be fine. If y'all are seeing my millions of groups right now, I apologize.
No, we still see you.
Oh, thank goodness. It's more important that we still see you, but okay.
Aw, thank you.
I'm gonna copy this invite code and put it in.
Oh, I already joined the I got the Discord. I got it.
There we go. I tried to do this
Very cool.
last time and tried to do it for my personal Twitch, and it was like, you can't put.
And I'm guessing that expires in an hour, like most Discord links.
I think it expires in like a day.
A day. There you go. Just so nobody comes back and they'll be like, "Oh, where was that link?" And then
it's gone immediately.
And then it's like, "This link isn't valid."
What's the link?
Yeah, Mike, I did get that quite a while ago. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I still have to do the eyes on her and reflection marks and some other small highlights, but all the dry brushing and stuff is done, so she's just about ready to sell. Kajausa. That's a name. I think I would love to get game night to do a one-shot. I talked last time a lot with Mike GM about the Jolene one-shot, amongst other things. So
I'd be down.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I explained this to the stream last time, but for your ears, Chrissy, I will explain that Jolene is based on the song Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Oh, are you familiar with it?
I was like, I know, I figured it had to do with the Dolly Parton song.
It does.
Tell me more.
So, Jolene is the servant of an eldritch god, and she is there to take your man or men, depending on which version of the game you're playing, to be sacrificed to the eldritch god, and it is your job as the player to convince her not to take your man. Whether that's your child, or your significant other, or your dad, or just your coworker, or whatever, it's up to you, but you need to convince her that he's not the right one for this sacrifice, and to not, please don't take my man.
But what if we want them to?
In that case,
secret objective.
all well and good. Maybe
right?
You can bargain with her. Maybe you can get a price for this man's head.
Then we're playing a betrayer game.
Oh no! All right, Jolene, you can take my man, but I'm gonna need at least a couple of drinks in this bar tonight.
Tell you what, you get my man, I get your elder god.
I don't think that's how that works.
You're gonna get my man.
Oh dear.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, I want to play a one shot of that. It's very role play heavy and less crunchy, not a lot of dice. So
right.
It's you need the right group for that kind of thing.
Someone for role play, you say? I have to tell about my favorite D&D character I ever played.
Okay, remember the D&D rule.
D&D rule.
Okay, I'm sorry. I believe Chrissy was going to say something there, but the D&D rule is if you're going to talk about something that happened in a role-playing game, keep it to 2 sentences as a summary, and then if somebody is interested and asks for more, you can tell them more in another 2-sentence chunk, and then if they ask again, then you can go into the whole story. It's a way to keep from getting that glazed eye look from your grandmother when you're talking about like how your characters massacred an entire village, you know?
I had a fat southern atheist to magic gunslinger who got melted to death by a dragon.
Okay, you can go on a little bit more.
He kind of talked like this. He was very much like a charlatan, but don't let him hear you say that. But he was very much atheist to magic, so he sees the dragon and he's like, that's some sort of a mutated lizard. We gotta put it down out of its misery.
Is that little Gideon's dad from Gravity Falls?
It was so fun to roleplay because he's like, this cultist shooting fireballs. He's like, my God, how are you shooting that fire? He goes, like, the devices, they self-destruct after your death. That was so smart.
I love that. That's a
But
good
he's
way
just,
to write that
he
off.
does not believe in magic at all. So it was just fun to roleplay, like, how do I not believe in this? How do I not believe in this?
He just keeps coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
What are you playing in your D&D campaign, Chrissy?
So
Jebediah, that's right. That is the dad's name. Sorry, go ahead.
no worries. I'm actually only in one right now. I was in two. So there was the Horde of the Dragon Queen, and then I was in a Greek mythology homebrew game, which was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
But then it also kind of dissolved with intention on coming back together, but it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. So I joined in when they were partway through, and so everybody who played got to pick like a Greek deity that, they could pray to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I, being a responsible player, chose Hades.
As you should.
Right?
I mean, unless it's Artemis, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, Artemis. I think Artemis was already chosen.
Bummer. Hades is a responsible choice.
Right, but nobody else in the group knew that.
Oh.
They didn't realize that Hades was like the one who actually...
The responsible god that actually does his job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and didn't cheat on his wife or anything?
Yeah. Crazy, wild story, right?
Zeus, god of Pantheon.
He didn't turn into a bull and do things that were non-consensual. He actually respects his wife.
But because he's like the god of the dead and everything, right?
He does get a bad rap.
All my friends were like, WTF.
Oh
no. And we met him a couple times.
That's cool. That's actually really cool. I would feel nervous being a DM and trying to represent a mythical god. That's a lot of pressure, because everybody who's playing has their own interpretation of how these gods should be. Whether you watched the Hercules cartoon or played Hades or just read a bunch,
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was fun because like going into the game, I knew who I wanted, to pick as my deity, and knowing that he was the responsible, mature one of the bunch.
Of the brothers, original group 3.
Yeah, and just watch.
So, watch a bunch of Xena's research. I love that.
I love Xena.
Oh, Xena's so great. I wasn't really allowed to watch Xena growing up because she was too sexual, and I was like, she's literally just a girl in some armor, but okay. Oh, wow.
Gotta love that.
You gotta love that. Just like the vilifying of the female form.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, this 7. You should definitely buy Hades. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it just released on all consoles, so...
Yeah, there was a special edition version for the Switch that came with, like, a fancy art book. But
you got it, eh?
No.
I just have the digital edition on Switch. Then I bought it on PC.
Oh. See, and I started on PC and was like, do I switch to Switch? Because of this dope art book. But
yeah.
No, it wasn't me. My boyfriend, who is a different Josh, bought it with the fancy art book. So I've seen it, but I do not personally own it.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I actually have a couple friends who are like, it's on Game Pass, so I want to play it to check it out. Because the type of game, roguelites, is not always everybody's cup of tea, right? So
I actually didn't think I liked roguelites very much. And then I played Hades and Moonlighter and Quest of Dungeons, and I realized, no, I actually really, really like roguelites.
You really like, yeah.
Yeah, turns out. And dating sims for the most part, but that's just me being a thirsty bitch.
Have you played or how are you looking at playing in a boyfriend dungeon?
I am very excited for that game. I have 100%ed Max Gentleman's Sexy Business.
That's what I was thinking of.
And I am very, very excited to play Boyfriend Dungeon. One of my favorite things about Max Gentleman's Sexy Business is that gentleman is a gender neutral term, and it applies to everyone.
I love that.
And you can dictate your avatar with any kind of like body or form that you want, and gender is not a restriction. And I thought that was really cool because I've played a lot of dating sims and I hadn't seen that so much before. So I really enjoyed that, but I'm very excited for Boyfriend Dungeon. Oh boy.
Yes, Monster Prom 2. Also an amazing game.
Monster Prom is super fun.
Oh, I love Jesse Cox. Such a good person.
Whoa, there's so many comments.
Josh, have you played the Bloodborne board game?
No, I haven't. I think it came out right around the pandemic, and a lot of the stuff, what my normal play group, we couldn't play because they couldn't get vaccinated yet.
Right.
But I think it's something on my radar, but it's also a pretty big game.
Yeah. I didn't even know about it till it was like the Kickstarter. I got my Kickstarter for Bloodborne. I was like, what?
I'm really hyped about the Darkest Dungeon board game coming out soon, or not soon, but eventually as well.
Ooh.
I love that. I love Grimdark. I love strategy. I love cooperative and betrayer games.
Wait, you don't play the Arkham Horror LCG though? And
No.
I've heard it's really good.
I don't think I've ever played an LCG because
I was gonna say, don't say that it requires continual money spending because you play Warhammer, so like, don't even try to pull that shit with
I don't know
me.
if my usual play group would like an LCG.
That's fair.
Yeah, Mike, I was talking about the board game, but I think Josh was talking about the deck builder. I haven't played either of them.
Yeah. There's actually a game that we've been trying to play for the last couple of weeks. Etten 2 Against the World. It's a 2v2v2v2 game.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically like you team up two different things where it's like demons and dwarves, or woodland folk and the undead.
I thought this was just meant to be like, hey, couples come out and play. And I was like, that's nice to cater to people who are monogamous and like have a nice healthy relationship where they're trying to get people into games. But I was mistaken. It's just two factions.
Yeah, two factions.
I was like, that's a weird way to cater to an audience, but I'm into it.
A good game that's actually really nice on that is Fog of Love.
I do like Fog of Love. Oh, my battery's getting low on this laptop. I'm just gonna grab my cord and plug her back in. I'll be right back.
All right.
You know, Fog of Love is really good because it's got a bunch of different versions where it's like male, female, male, male, female, female, and then you have other like expansions, like trouble with in-laws, so just like generic family stuff.
Well,
Oof.
oh, my car's not. It is. I think it is.
We love when technology is like, I'ma die now.
And stream is done.
Shush you. I think there's one mistake that you've made there, Josh, and that's actually that you don't necessarily dictate the gender of the people that you're playing as in this game. It's just that the covers have different styles of couples on them. In the game itself, it's all gender neutral pronouns.
Oh, even better.
We love that.
Yeah, I love that too. I think that's the way to go. Myself personally, for like publishing things, I have been writing a project that I'm not going to get too into right now for a while that mostly uses gender neutral pronouns so that people who are playing what it is, and no, I'm not calling any of you in that, can don't have to feel pressure to like conform to any norms and be whomever they would like to be. But I was also beaten to the punch a little bit with Max Gentleman's Sexy Business.
I like how I'm on your website and I like how there's a disability one.
Yes, there is. It's nice, isn't it? I feel like I feel like the creators tried really hard to be inclusive, but not that kind of like, look at us, we're inclusive. It's just kind
a
of
paranormal romance version.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's not diversity for diversity's sake.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Or, like,
totally
shilling.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah, I've had conversations with people about how like it's this is gonna I don't know if this is too political or too much of Tabitha's opinion, but I have opinions about doing pride. We're just going to go with pride because he's going to talk about right now. Pride
Yeah.
positive things without actually supporting, and how that's actually more of just an advertisement of like give us your dollars, look at us. And I have
Insert every company in June.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I have some strong feelings about if you're going to do a thing and say that you support a thing, it's also important to put your dollars where your mouth is,
Yeah.
or your time by volunteering, stuff like that. And that's just me, and I'm not casting shade at anybody or looking down on anyone for support, because support is support is support. Like it's lovely to get the word out, and that's good.
Mhm.
But for me personally, I feel that there is a moral obligation to not just do something that's safe. You know, like it's safe to support
Yeah.
Pride now, but there are companies that have been supporting Pride from when it wasn't safe, and now that it's hard to look at people who just get into it now
Because
and
it's
say,
the trend, quote unquote.
pardon me?
Because it's the trend, quote unquote.
Because it's the trend and whatever. And I that's just my personal thing. I'm not judging any businesses or people
Yeah.
because of that, but that's just my feelings for me personally.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's the end of my tirade.
It's okay.
I think about Subaru. I don't know if you're familiar with Subaru's advertising campaign that specifically targeted lesbians.
No?
They noticed that there was a target demographic or a demographic that was buying a lot of vehicles based on
Mhm.
their activities, a lot of camping, a lot of whatever, and they realized in the higher ups that it was lesbian couples, so they started to advertise with female couples in their advertisements. And
Mhm.
at the time, that was kind of a risky move. It was a great business decision for them. They made bank on that. But it was one of the first, they were one of the first companies to look at a minority demographic and go, that's an untapped market. Now we can praise them for that, but we can also look at it and go, well, that's just a smart marketing decision. They just want our
Right.
rainbow dollars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it's a two-sided thing, right? It's
Yeah.
great because it's also displaying on the television non heterosexual couples, but it's also kind of it's targeting minorities for their money. Do you know what I mean? So it's got to be a balance, I think. That's my
Yeah.
personal opinion. But, sorry, I've just yammered on. Do you have any opinions?
Yeah, no, I mean, because I'm representing Pride here, I'm just gonna.
Just you can feel free to sidestep that and not speak professionally on it if you don't want
No, it's
to.
fine. I do have to agree with the way with what you're saying. It'd be nice.
It'd be nice at least, yeah. Let's go with it being nice.
Yeah.
More than just performative.
I,
There's another word, and I can't think of the second word that goes along with that. But you know what I mean.
yes, but more than just performative. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I've been struggling with that since the BLM thing at the beginning of the pandemic, and that really opened my eyes to like how ignorant I've been to a lot of that kind of mentality. But anyway, I'm being a real downer. I have been mesmerized by the wasps trying to get in my window, and I don't like that.
What about that last dice tray?
Yeah, we can do
Yes,
another
it
giveaway
is.
right now.
It's 4:15 now, so it's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Let's grab that. We're gonna do the second dice tray on the Owlbear, because usually right before the end of the stream, that's when we're gonna do our $10 gift card giveaway.
Right.
So let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody.
From the back, the Owlbear kind of looks like the gorilla boss from Sekiro.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Just needs a giant sword in his neck.
Not that I played Sekiro yet, but I've my go-to when like I kind of want some, not really chill streams, but I watch a lot of speedrunners and a lot of the Dark Souls speedrunners
Mhm.
because it's repetitive and you don't have to watch it, right? Like I can just participate in the chat and stuff, right? And so, yeah, no, I watch a lot, and so occasionally I end up watching a Sekiro playthrough. It's on my list. I started with Bloodborne. I've been playing Dark Souls 1 for months now, and I'm ready to finish my first playthrough.
How did you do in the Ornstein and Schmo fight?
I did some jolly cooperation for I was able to get one of them down, like on my own, but then I would just get bonked and I was like, okay, cool.
So I have a fun little tip that I always do. So it's always for me Onslaught Ornstein, so you just go for him right away and kill him, and then snipe
Yeah.
slow. So you just sit back and just pick at him because he's a lot slower.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
clever.
Well, I ended up because this was my first build, like first playthrough. I was trying to not get a lot of backseating on how to build my character,
Mhm.
and so I ended up doing it's mainly a dex build. So I have a little bit of pyro because you saved that one pyro guy from in the depths,
Yeah.
but I haven't really invested in that. But I also have a pyro build on the side that I'm kind of like playing around off stream.
To play Dark Souls again, that I have a usable PC.
Oh, I didn't realize you didn't.
For a number of years, I just had like a little tablet thing, but now I can play games again. I might have to play some Dark Souls again.
All right.
I am gonna play Dark Souls 2,
Ooh,
which can cause some controversy.
a little
It's still fun.
It's still fun.
bit. Controversy is good for engagement.
Yeah.
But I've watched people play DS2, so I can see the differences. Like you can see, Miyazaki.
Sorry, go on. Miyazaki. Sorry, Mike just said
What
that Josh did
Miyazaki
that.
brings to the game and what Dark Souls 2 brought to the table and the obvious differences.
All right. Should we do the Owlbear first, or do you guys try?
Let's do the Owlbear.
Bear.
My brain has a hard time making brain words.
Bear, 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 bear.
So the Owlbear.
All right. Well, Mike GM wanted a dice tray, but he's getting an Owlbear.
That's funny.
So no dice trays for you.
I think it's conspiracy to make us buy new brushes.
Yes, we don't bring brush cleaner into the store so that you have to buy new brushes.
Oh, they're excited. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, good.
Congratulations.
Okay. I was like, oh my god, they're going to be disappointed they didn't get a dice tray.
I honestly am thankful that it wasn't me because that would have been both of my friends then and then me that just
And then you
don't
all
want
just
the
have
prize.
platforms for dice to be in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
So then I have a question for you, Josh. Are you excited for Elden Ring?
I am very excited for Elden Ring. I haven't played Bloodborne. That's the only Souls game I haven't played. But
Yeah.
I've been following a bunch of YouTubers on it, so I am excited finally that I might be able to play it.
Woos J, are you still in the chat?
Did they
maybe
win the
not.
dice tray?
They might have, but he's also my boyfriend and doesn't play like any role-playing games, and last time he won something, he didn't want it. So I just want to confirm that he still does not want a dice tray.
That's
You know what?
hilarious.
I'm gonna make an executive decision here and say he doesn't want it, and if he ends up being like, "What did you do, girlfriend of mine? I really wanted that," I'll just buy him one.
Aww.
Aww.
Sitting around that have been glued but not painted.
Oh.
Oh.
I think he was talking about the owl
I think
bear.
he was talking about the Owlbear. Okay, we're gonna random number generate again.
Reroll.
Okay, killer.
Ooh. So I'll probably be taking that with me since I'm going to be seeing them later today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good job, killer.
Which one do you want?
Yeah, which one would you like?
I'll let you pick.
Yeah, you get first dibs.
There are different varieties. This one's a bit more oak and mahogany, I believe. Actually, it says on the here back. Aged cedar for that one, and I believe this one is a mix.
We have this fancy
So is
camera
that
right
from
here.
a local creator or is that from?
Yes, it's from a fella named Chad Calder. These are Calder's
Cool.
Crafts, and he lives just outside of the city, and he's been renovating his house, and it's got a bunch of old wood in it, including an old wood bar and stuff, and he's been using the wood to upcycle it to this.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
I know, I love it. Okay, well that's fun. So do I need to even, like, I don't even need to label that dice tray then, right? Like,
You want the darker?
the dark one? Okay. Okay, well, good. You know what? I'm glad it's leaving my house right away. That sounds great.
I will say that if I was claiming the other dice tray because Megan won, I was kind of looking at the layered one because it's so good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're going to get it from your friend group anyway, so that works out pretty well.
The two friends that play or don't play, and then all of a sudden they just win all the things.
Yup.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh.
Funny Borealis.
Oh. Trays and towers are different, though.
They are different.
You can do the parcheesi roll in the trays.
Yeah, you clearly need both, right?
Yeah.
Oh well. So for the Owlbear here, back to the painting here. Oh, I just dropped him on his face. He's got a bit of pink behind his head there. I chose, instead of blending it, to just have the blue end at the edge of his nice little head ruffly feathers there. And that's a nice, easy way to sort of disguise that. There is a bit of wet blending. Oh my god, it's not going to focus with it. Oh, kind of. I did it! Right at the base of the neck there, you can see that I did a little bit of wet blending.
Nice.
But the rest of it is all just disguised by the feather.
But I'm in a very short campaign with a friend who's a DM, and we were supposed to only play through July, but then the DM has a newborn. Well, not she's 4 months now, but the babies kind of kept getting in the way of how long we would be able to play for.
That is one of the responsibilities of having a baby.
Yeah.
Or
So
multiple.
it's basically become a whole summer campaign.
That happens.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. You know, it's been fun.
I'm looking to start running some second edition D&D soon because I have slowly been growing my collection of books.
Every time that we get somebody who comes in the store to sell second edition books, he's like, "Hey Ben, you know you have a buyer right here. Why don't you just buy that from the client and I'll buy it from you?"
Hey, just I'll pick that up.
Every single time. Every single time.
That's funny.
And also, I've been working on my mini a little bit more. It's a little bit hard to see, but with the gloss I put on.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the gloss definitely makes it more transparent. I think it shows better.
Makes it more candy.
I kind of want to do a white dry brush at the end of this, and maybe after the stream, because I don't have my dry brush set here. But just kind of pop the ridges.
I have a million billion brushes if you need them.
Well, do you have any final questions or whatever?
Yeah, sorry. I know you. So Pride's coming up in only
it's been wonderful
in
chatting.
only a few days, and we've taken up so much of your time when you're in the middle of organizing.
No, I mean, because it's been virtual this year, a lot of it's kind of like out of my hands, right? Like, I mean, if things don't work out, I mean, I tried my best. Like, it's just unfortunately with it being in the world we're in right now, if it was more in-person stuff, I would be more hands on deck at this point. So
that makes sense.
But
I'm sure you would have a bunch of volunteers to organize for that as well.
Yeah, which I love doing so much.
Oh,
It actually just brings me back to Comic-Con days, honestly. I was one of the registration booth people, and so just...
golly. Oh, that means you were one of, like, the registration booth people were the people that we knew we wouldn't have to babysit. So, like, well
Yep.
done. Well done, being dependable.
Yeah. So, so I know what it's like to get volunteers, and so, but no, it's been wonderful working with Pride, and everybody's been so lovely, and we're finally, because I've been with them for a year, I haven't really met everybody in person, except our president Barry, when he was at my interview, of course. So
That makes sense.
and then the marketing director, who I actually went to Red River with, so it was kind of funny to have
Winnipeg's such
him
a
come
small
on.
world.
Yeah.
I know, right? Like, it's just like, well, even, Borealis recognize, you're like, I think I know that Borealis.
Yeah. All right, well, I really appreciate you coming by, and we've taken so much more of your time than we had talked about.
No, it's been a pleasure, and if anybody who wants to get more information on Pride, there's the app and then there's the website. And I would say hope to see you at Pride, but, that's not a thing that we can say this year. But, next year.
All right, well, in that case, everybody, wave goodbye. Not that we can see you, but Christy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And I will see you in the Discord, because I joined that. So, hey! Okay, bye.
All right, where was I?
You're at your house.
I'm at my house. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you keeping me stable and knowing where I am. What would I do without you? Oh, Desevim, you know what? I'll come on the Game Night Discord and I'll post some of the cat that I'm cat sitting right now. She's really cute. She was left outside in the winter before she went to the shelter, so she's missing her ears and the last, 2 inches of her tail. So she looks just a little funny, but she's a really, really cute girl. She's adorable and I love her.
I can post some of the cats that I'm going to be seeing later today, including Lonky Aurora. She's like an accordion.
Oh, I see. Have a good time with your frost grave. I got some color shift here. And I think we're going to start making this Owlbear pretty sparkly in a minute, once it's all dry. But for now, we're going to color shift up our wet blended flumphs.
I love your transition on that. It was so good. Your tendrils.
He's a little cutie. Nope, I give up. You know what? Do we have any of the ones with a flat color on the back?
Actually, this would work best.
I was gonna say the dice tower would work best. Try putting them in front of that, which is a flat color, and see how we do. It worked!
We'll just have to make the permanent setup for next time.
So, I think his colors went pretty well. I'm pretty pleased. Let's get his woolly in there.
I was going to sneak them in.
I was gonna say,
The most ostentatious slime.
if you don't eat my flump with your slime, now I'm making say that. I'll just probably throw some gnome oil on this bad boy first, though.
There's also, Frost Haven coming up soon, which is
the sequel to Gloomhaven, yeah.
So many Frost things to remember.
That, and then there's, we live in Manitoba, and oh my goodness.
You always gotta stay frosty.
Yeah, you gotta stay frosty. And then there's Wendy's Frosties. It's just hard, you know.
There's Frosty Tip Hair.
Frosty Tip Hair, which you basically only see if you go on YouTube and search the song Hottie, which is written and sung by a local fella, and I'm not recommending it because it's good, but it is definitely entertaining.
Ooh, great.
The Ice Age! Oh man. Oh boy, okay, so we got some Nuln Oil on this beautiful little baby here. I'm just gonna get it on the inside and then I'll show you what I got. I'm not gonna show you how to put Nuln Oil on because it's literally just slap it on. Yeah, thank you, Josh. That was eloquent and perfect. Put some Nuln Oil on those eye socks. I almost put my paintbrush in my beard. Oh, he's charming. I think I'm gonna make the nails and the claws and the beak the pink because I really like that. So this flump now has some Nuln Oil on it. It's gonna dry a bit. Feeling pretty pleased with him. One thing that he does need is
attention and love.
And it's not happening. Did we refocus? Anyway, the other fella, the other flump, my sweet little flump, he needs to be a little bit reblended on the top. I'm going to use basically just the same stuff that I did before. I put a lot of water in my paints, so thankfully they are still very wet and very usable. So I don't have to worry about that. That'll be easy peasy shampoo squeezy for me. Get some blending going on. The nice thing about acrylics is that if you come in for your second coat with a whole bunch of water in your paint, and you just rub and rub and rub with your paintbrush, obviously, it'll kind of reconstitute and you can get a little bit of a secondary blend going. But if you wait till like the next day, that's not gonna work. You gotta do it like right away. What was that sound? What happened to you?
My paint pot closed.
I mean, better than spilling it. Oh, I should have mentioned I have one of those like paint pot holders downstairs. So, oh well. We didn't spill on my tablecloth, so I'm sure it's fine.
Not this time, sadly.
Not this time. Oh, I meant to thank Citadel for their compliment to my dining room paint job. I did that myself and I love it. Yeah, it turns out I don't just paint miniatures, I also paint walls for $20 an hour. If you're interested. I don't need to hustle that hard. Like, listen, I work at a game store, but I'm not destitute. But $20 an hour is my minimum, yeah. For painting a house, I mean.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty happy with how this is right now.
I think I'm pretty happy with how I blended. Oh, now that I've got this guy in front, they're like, let's focus on the other one.
I'm happy with all of our viewers that decided to come and join us today.
I'm happy that we got to talk to Christy. I really enjoyed talking to her. She was like, I haven't been to this thing either. And I was like, is it super weird for me to be like, hey friend that I just met, do you want to go to this thing together? So I did not do that, but I will be probably when we get off of stream, if she and I keep talking, which I'm hoping we will, because before this, she was really pleasant, and during this, she was really pleasant, and I really enjoyed talking to her, so I'm hoping it won't be too weird when I'm like, hi, I'm basically a stranger that you met on the internet, let's go to a museum together.
Now we have to start playing some Dark Souls 2 and put some summoning signs down when she starts playing.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
I never heard Rimuru say that, but okay.
If we ever have another when we have another paint stream where we don't have a paint kit to do, we can let the chat decide the previous month on what we would paint.
I would love to do that. The problem these last couple months is, of course, that we were expecting those paint kits to be out like they were promised, and then they weren't. But I love that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, I want to see a merfolk done. So let's do like 2 merfolk whatevers.
Oh no, you're gonna make me buy underwater elves that ride fish? How could you do this to me?
Oh, I can paint my already existing underwater elves that ride fish?
I wish the druid orders were more interesting. Yeah, me too. I was actually really tempted to play druid, because I usually play a bard because I'm super extra, and decided not to because I play that all the time. So then I played a bard dressed up as a paladin instead. So I'm a champion, my character is a champion. She's a champion. Oh God, which champion subclass is she? Sorry, we've taken a month and a half break just because like shit's wild right now. It's not like revenge. It's not the vengeance one. It's just the regular. I think it's just the regular. It's the liberator. It's the liberator. I got there because one of my favorite things is liberating step.
I said Statue of Liberty.
No, that doesn't exist in Pathfinder. Sorry, love. But she worships Caden Kalian, and for those of you who have played PF2, Caden is the god of booze, freedom, and good times. So I am playing a bard dressed as a paladin, and that's how that works, apparently. Also, she's an elf, so she's super weak and chose to be a paladin anyway. I just like to hurt myself, I guess. Yeah, I do paint minis in a weird, dumb, hard way, and I do play an elf bard paladin, but not multi-class, just paladin. It's because I am a bit of a masochist. Oh geez. Yeah, oh geez indeed. Champion is fighter in 5e. That makes sense. It makes sense that champion would be fighter in 5e. There is no paladin class in PF2. I believe that's just like what they decided to call champion. Obviously for copyright reasons, because once they branched off from 3.5, they had to make themselves legally distinct, right? But I honestly think second edition is so much more its own game than first edition was for Pathfinder. I played Pathfinder when I lived in the Yukon, don't ask. And I was like, this is kind of just 3.5, which I really enjoy. That was my starting point for D&D. But with some more interesting things thrown in, but not interesting enough to make me feel like playing that instead of 3.5. But when I started playing second edition, I was like, oh, there's a lot of cool mechanics about this that really make this game different. Like, instead of having a movement, an attack, and like a free action like D&D, it's 3 actions. And if you want to run the fuck away, you can just run 3 times. Or if you want to like use, well, you can't use like healing touch or whatever the fuck as a cantrip 3 times in a row, because they have to have, as a paladin, I have to have 10 minutes between them. But if I wanted to use minor things the entire time to do like messaging and like organizing, I could do that. It's not limited by, you get this action, this action, and this action, and if you don't want to take one of them, too bad.
Yep.
So I enjoy that I get to completely dictate everything within combat to be whatever I want it to be. Maybe I want to just talk to the enemy 3 times. I can just do that. I can just try to convince him that I'm a hot piece of sliz and you can't just kill me, because then I won't be around anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or that murdering children is wrong. Those two, I mean, you don't have to always seduce the enemy. I told you I was a bard.
I got into D&D through high school, actually. My computer teacher started a D&D club. We got a bunch of me and my friends into D&D. That actually led me to finding game night.
Oh, is that how you found game night?
Yeah, I was playing, I was like, I want to buy some dice. Where'd you buy dice in Winnipeg? Game Night Games. I said, go in there. Go there. Someone told me.
Oh, we got that optimization.
Someone told me that they were running D&D events there as well. I was like, yeah, I can play 2 games. Yeah, I like this so far. I started playing there.
Can you play your ping pong?
Yeah.
Go on.
I started playing there, started playing in more games, started running the game, started playing in more stuff, and then I live on the roof now.
Beautiful. What? What, you didn't know? No.
Most of my lives are just on the roof.
You just live up on the roof?
Why do you think I come to work like 2 hours early?
Oh, is it because you're just like, oh, I was coming down to shower in the weird shower in the bathrooms that we don't use and yet is still there? I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, what if a nerd was really stinky? Can I send them into that bathroom and be like, shower? Or is that like gonna get me in some real trouble? We don't provide towels, so.
Just use the mop.
I want to make a kobold. What the fuck am I reading? Sorry, I'm facing away from the microphone. But I'm not gonna lie, you really caught me off guard, and now I'm gonna try to continue to read what you wrote, because the first, even 10 words there is some pretty wild stuff.
Let's see
Okay, that's amazing. So the character would believe marriage equals happiness, and then not understanding that there could be unhappy marriages, but believing that everybody should be married. I'm really into that. That's hilarious. That reminds me very much of living in a magical world and not believing in magic. I love contrary characters like that. I think they're super fun, and I think they must be very frustrating for a dungeon master, but I plan literally to never be one, and I know people are going to give me shit for that, but it's just too intimidating, and it seems like a lot of work, and I just can't do it. It's too much. It scares me. I cannot believe that versatile heritage ASMR can be applied to any race. That's insane. That's way too broken. I feel like they designed 5th edition and just totally did not think. I know that they tried. They tried to think of all the broken shit that anybody could do, right? They did. They tried. They definitely tried. Maybe not hard enough. Because there is some busted ass shit in there. And it's pretty fun. Yes, tiefling can be so busted, and you can apply it to just about anything.
I had a really cool tiefling character idea as well. There would be a tiefling warlock, and they would get the innate ability to cast darkness on themselves, and they would go down the path of the blade, so they're really melee focused.
Okay, I'm into it.
You get the Eldritch Invocation to see in magical darkness. So you cast darkness on yourself, you have advantage to hit everyone else, and they have disadvantage to hit you.
Okay, that's actually really cool. I'm into that. I feel like some nerd has done that, because nerds be nerds.
It's me! I did it!
Is it you? Did you do it?
I did.
Oh, did you actually play that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought this was just a pipe.
No, I made them.
I thought this was a pipe dream you were telling me about. And how much did Harley dislike you for doing that?
I think I was playing alongside him in a campaign.
Okay.
So he didn't mind. I think I saved them all from being... what I did is I did the trait to get wings, and then I eventually cast darkness as a spell. So I would fly around having darkness, and I saved them from being assassinated, I think, or executed.
I'm putting a wash on the white part. It looks quite dark right now, but once I dry brush it with more white, it will look white again. I just want people to be able to see all of the little feathers and stuff.
That's really good.
It's getting there. I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. I did not think that I honestly, I wanted to do the trans flag because trans rights are human rights. But I wasn't sure how this would turn out, and I'm actually really, really pleased with how this is looking.
Are we going to do the draw for the gift card soon, or are we...
Yeah, it's just about 5, so I think we're going to be doing that basically right away. I had meant to do the other draws more on time, but I had such a good time talking with Christy.
It was so nice having a guest on.
It was really nice, and she was really nice. I'm not trying to talk shit about other possible future guests, but I thought that she was really personable, and I really liked her. I feel very strongly. Anyway, we were going to draw for the gift card, and I got sidetracked with more weird rants.
Ranting is also 80% of this stream. Wouldn't be a GK rant with at least 5 rants.
I really wish that there was a just ranting sort of, because on Twitch there's a just chatting category. It would be really nice if specifically for me, they made a just ranting category where I just get to preach my weird moral bullshit at people. Yes. Okay.
Oh, and we got another happy pride at the very end.
Oh, excellent. I am so pleased. I'm going to mark that down. I believe, and I could be wrong, and I could have been marking things down twice, but I don't care. That should be 15 happy prides, which is only $30 for me, but I'm happy to give it. If anybody wants to bring more people in to say happy pride by the end, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me. But I'm actually pretty pleased with that considering our turnout previously. Yeah, that makes me really happy that people came out to support Pride and to learn from Christy. Okay, so we are drawing for a $10 gift card.
Glad you're able to watch even though you're at work. Not gonna say I haven't done that once or twice.
I mean, they're literally playing our stream on the television at work, so is it really so bad if somebody watches when they're at work? I mean, I'm not going to blame Amanda for turning around every once in a while to watch us yammer away on here. All right, let's do this. I don't know, generator, $10 gift card. Oh, well, I've already called them by their real name already. So, Daniel, are you still around? Oh, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to watch due to being oh, yeah, I see. Daniel from Winnipeg Weiss. Okay, well, I've marked them down. They are irregular, so I'm not super worried about that, but well done. It might not be as hype as a Weiss playset, but, you know, it's fine. It's $5. It's like a couple of packs. Oh, it's always more fun when they're in the chat, but I'm still really glad that they stopped by. I'm super thankful for everybody who stopped by. I think you need to head out.
Yes.
Yes. I'm probably going to keep painting for just a little bit. I'm not super exciting, but I do want to try to finish one, or not the base, but at least one of these flumphs. I'd like to get some eyes on maybe. Or if this wash dries fast enough on the Owlbear, I'd like to start doing a little bit of the white on the pink and the pink on the blue. I don't know if that's entertaining for people, but I'm going to keep painting anyway, so I might as well be painting with other people. And you're going to play role-playing games tonight?
I'm going to play role-playing games, probably going to play some board games.
That's going to be a good time. Do you have any idea what board games you got lined up?
Well, I bought Monarch.
Right, you mentioned Monarch, but you said board games, which is plural.
King of Tokyo, maybe?
I do love King of Tokyo. Have you tried Dark?
It is very fun.
Tell me the difference, because I don't actually know. I bought it and I haven't
So
opened
Dark
it.
makes rolling 1s and 2s actually useful.
Okay, well that's a wild shift. That's actually really, really good, because that's one of my biggest complaints is like taking victory points. Unless you roll a 3, why even try?
Have you ever played? It's pretty much like getting energy expansion cards for free. So if you roll triple 1s, you get 2 wickedness points, which gets you upgrades along the line. If you roll 3 2s, you get 1 wickedness point. And they're basically like extra upgrades, like roll an extra die, or get a reroll, or get extra other stuff. But it's nice. It kind of adds an extra element to the game that I didn't know was missing.
It feels like that's going to be just a smidge more balanced.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes like loads of sense since I haven't played it yet, but to me that feels like it's going to be a little more balanced. It's kind of like if your ride's here, don't. So y'all have a dinner together, right?
Yeah, we usually have some takeouts.
That would be nice. What are you guys going to film tonight?
I don't know. We usually kind of decide on 20 minutes ago when I'll order.
Oh, fair enough. You're doing it
Yeah, well, we were right next to Sunday.
Oh, so there's lots of other stuff. Okay, cool. Literally, my paper towel is absolutely soaked and I cannot put any more paint on it. I put that napkin. There's nothing. Josh's napkin is so clean, and I'm over here with my dirty ass napkin, just completely, absolutely soaked with paint. How dare you be such a family, Joshua? Put me to shame. This is my only problem with. I bought the army paper, these round little brushes, right? My only real problem with them is that they hold which is fine if you only use them and you get used to it. But for me, who usually uses, I'm painting quite small miniatures, so my dry brushing is not done with these large ones. It just causes me problems. It's just kind of in my way. It's a lot of paint that I think I got out, and I didn't. I definitely just dropped my paintbrush. Oh boy.
Thank you everyone for coming down. I'm gonna head out. I'm sorry I couldn't stay for any longer, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
I know, I had fun with you.
I can't wait to this next month.
I'm only going to be on here for a little longer while I dry brush these flumphs anyway, so. Hey, I'm glad you were here.
I'm glad I was here as well.
So it's fun hanging out with you. But show off your slime just one last time.
Try not to get on your dirty ring strokes.
They're dry. Okay, some of them are a little wet.
I'll probably be posting some more pictures later tonight as well.
And I'll do my best to do that, but I'll probably promise it and not do it again until I do take it again. So,
have a good night, everyone.
see you later, Josh.
I'll see everyone with us in the next.
So tomorrow at work? Oh no, wait, you're off on Monday, Tuesday.
The worst days of work. And I'm not there.
Oh, okay. I was very confused. I was like, is that the worst day of work? Oh, you can no longer see where the gnome oil is sitting to separate those. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see it. I can do this right down there. Where I dry brushed a little too hard and now you can't see the separation as much. Like, it's still definitely there, but it's not the same. So I will probably touch that up another time. I don't want to focus too much on it right now. Yeah, I really love gnome oil, but it does make these way darker by the end of the day. So I always try to start with really bright colors so that I can avoid it being just like way too dark. Get these little bits done. There we are. There we go. I am a little bit worried about trying to do, I don't know if, let's see, can I get this close enough for people to see? Alright, thanks for checking in. Have a good night, to Sam. On the end of these little tentacles. Oh no, it's not focusing on her yet. There are little tiny, like claws almost. They're actually little grabby bits. And they're so that they can, you know, use them like fingers. And on this miniature, they're so incredibly small. It's going to be a little bit hard for me to get. But I think that won't be something we're covering today. Just want to get these last little bits on and then we're good to go. Okay, well, he's all washed now. I'm going to give you a cutie. I'm just going to put the pink onto my burr. And then we'll call it quits. I think we're just going to make our own pink because I don't have one that matches. The only real problem with that is that mixing red with white, the red is so much stronger than the white. Oh my goodness. There we go. Speaking of, trying to get enough red out of that I can actually mix some white in. without completely contaminating my white. There we go. Okay, I think I've got a pink I can be happy with. Oh no, that's too dark. I think I need some blue in there. Okay. I think this pink up here is going to work out for our Owlbear. Oh boy. Okay, so I've got too much paint on my brush. Just going to clean that off a little bit. Get right into the blue bit here. Just a few touches. Okay. Just to help with that transition. Oh, I'm running out of pink already. One down here maybe just below the chin. And then we're just going to do some on the butt here. I need a different camera setup. It is impossible to paint like this. Oh my goodness. That's a little too much pink. I need a bit of saliva. Get rid of that. I'm going to bring another brush in here to get the stuff out of the grooves because I definitely screwed that up. Other brush. Oh my goodness. Alright, last bit of paint here. Alright, so we just got a bit of pink there on the leg, just to try to draw everything together. And that was the last little thing that I wanted to do. So thank you everybody for stopping by. Sorry Josh had to jet. He was expecting to leave by 5:30 and it was just a little bit earlier. So, alright, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for supporting Pride. Remember to check out Pride Winnipeg on Facebook and all of their other platforms. And maybe volunteer and support. I think I'm going to be looking into it. Have a good night, everybody.